Booyaka shot. In this episode, I'm going to give you my recommendations for week 23 of the fantasy basketball season for the Sleeper app. Now, let's make some game picks. Welcome to the Game Pick Fantasy Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Robbin Marx. You can connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Game Pick Podcast. If you love points leagues, Dynasty, Sleeper's new game pick format, please consider subscribing on all channels. And please stick around until the end because I'm going to share this week's game pick sleeper of the week. Now, let's jump into our big time NBA fantasy playoff game picks for week 23 of the NBA season. First up, the guy who has been ripping it up, and if you're in Sleeper, his vaccination status doesn't bother you. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie this week has two available games. He's playing on Wednesday at Memphis, and he's also playing on Saturday at Miami. I recently went to my first ever John Morant game to go check him out this past Friday, and I was totally, satisfied with what he brought to the table. Kyrie Irving is watching what John Morant is doing. The young lion, John Morant, is tearing up the league, and I promise you, Kyrie is going to make a statement in Memphis. My recommendation for Kyrie Irving is the Wednesday game at Memphis. Wednesday versus Memphis. So let's go ahead and move along and see who we got next. Let's talk about the Joker. We got Nikola Jokic, the Joker, week 23. He has 3 games lined up. He has Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and go with his highest projected point total because there is a big gap between that and the second highest projected point total, and that's going to be Saturday versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's fair to say that Oklahoma City is not fighting for anything, and it should be a pretty easy win for Denver. However, look for the Joker to come out early and try to put them away. So there's a chance he might get sat in the fourth quarter if there's a really big lead. But let's hope that the OKC Young Bucks give them a run for their money and make it a competitive game. My next recommendation for week 23 is going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and go with the man, the other MVP candidate that we have out here, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has a bunch of games, but I imagine he might sit some of them as we approach the end of the season. I believe on Sunday and Monday he has a back-to-back, so look for one of those games for him to sit. My recommendation has nothing to do with that. It's going to be the Wednesday game at LA. He is going to torch LA. LA is not ready for Joel Embiid, and I also believe that again, very similar to Kyrie. He's trying to make a statement that, this is a changing of the guard. LeBron James, your time was in the past. You know what I'm saying? You also might be having a really good season, but your team is not winning. And I'm going to crush you on Wednesday at LA. So I'm going to go with Joel Embiid, Wednesday at LA. Next up, we want to go ahead and talk about one of my favorite players, Karl-Anthony Towns. For week 23, Karl-Anthony Towns has 4 games. And it looks like, this is a kind of a crapshoot. These are really close projected point totals. So at that point, I really want to look at the defense of the other team. And honestly, he plays Boston on Sunday. I am staying way, 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 way far away from Boston because their defense is just out of control. Of all of these teams, they have Phoenix on Wednesday. I'm staying away from Phoenix. I would actually play him against Dallas. They play Dallas on Monday and Friday. I'm going to go with the home game against Dallas. Friday versus Dallas at home, Karl-Anthony Towns. That would be my game pick there. Moving right along, let's talk about Giannis, the Greek Freak, another MVP candidate. Giannis has 3 games booked, so he's going to be pretty rested. It looks like they're not playing any games on Monday. And then he has Tuesday versus Chicago, Thursday versus Washington, and Saturday at Memphis. This is an easy one. I'm going to go with Thursday versus Washington. Washington is not ready for the Greek Freak, and he's going to light them up. So I'm going to choose the game pick for Giannis is Thursday versus Washington. Next up, we want to go ahead and talk about one of my favorite young players, Trae Young. Trae Young, I'm in Atlanta right now, guys. And if you didn't see, we got the new game pick fantasy swag just came out. So if you're interested, please drop a comment and let me know. What'd you say, baby? Okay, I'm coming. That's my daughter. So for Trey, I love Trey, man. I'm so excited about what he's going to do here in Atlanta, but also for the NBA, the kind of energy he brings. So he has 3 games lined up. Okay, babe. He has 3 games lined up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. My game pick is going to be the Friday versus the Golden State Warriors at home. Steph Curry is coming to Atlanta. You know the building is going to be electric, and Trey Young, if healthy, is going to show up and show out. So my game pick is going to be Friday versus Golden State. Now, before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play fantasy sports, including best ball, daily drafts, and pick'em. Start drafting in minutes for a shot at big cash and an enhanced game watching experience. Did I mention that Kevin Durant and Mark Cuban both invested in Underdog? Once I heard about that, I had to spread the news. Sign up today and use the code GAMEPICK and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. It's like getting free money. So don't miss out on your chance to double up from the jump. To sign up, just download the Underdog Fantasy app on Android or iOS. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about our game pick sleeper of the week. And it's none other than my main man. Sorry, I had his information here. My main man, Jalen Green. Now, Jalen Green, I know is not a name that's been buzzing in fantasy circles this season, but just know that this young man has really been stringing together some really good games. It is a little spotty, but in game pick, you can be really selective about what game you're picking. And I think he has a really good matchup on Monday versus the Washington Wizards. And I think he's going to have a really good fantasy day. So my game pick for Jalen Green is going to be the Monday versus Washington. Monday versus Washington is my pick for Jalen Green. Now, if I did not mention your player, you're in the playoffs, you're fighting, and you need help, please drop a comment with your request. Next week, I will gladly add your player to the list. And also join our new Discord group. If you need help right now with game picks, with dynasty questions, team names, if you're trying to find a league, this is the place to do it. All you have to do is visit taplink.cc/gamepickpodcast. That's taplink.cc/gamepickpodcast. Also, don't forget to bang that subscribe button, join the YouTube community, also share with a friend. Hit us with a thumbs up, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you absolutely crush your league this week, win your playoff matchup this week, and bring home that championship. I'm Robbin Marx. Go out there and make some game picks.